Hello YouTubes, and welcome back to the channel. This episode of Myth Mechanics is going to continue our exploration of early human evolution by diving into the mythological and fringe theories tied to ancient Egypt, specifically the idea that sound and resonance played a central role in ritual, architecture, and even creation. Building on our previous discussions around quantum coherence, recursive geometry, and the use of ritual materials, we're now shifting towards the more speculative claims, like whether the pyramids functioned as acoustic devices or whether chanting could influence biological systems. These ideas are often dismissed outright, but we're approaching them through the same structured lens, asking whether they'd reflect real environmental conditions or cognitive mechanisms. It's a step further along the same path that we've already laid out, just applied to the edges of the narratives where myth, matter, and sound begin to blur. Sound shapes more than music or language. It directly interacts with matter, energy, and even consciousness. Across ancient traditions and modern physics, evidence points to sound as a fundamental force for order and communication at every level of existence. Quantum research shows that sound operates through discrete packets of energy called phonons, much like light uses photons. These vibrations affect cells, brainwaves, architecture, and group behavior in measurable ways. Rituals involving chanting, drumming, or sacred speech appear to harmonize internal biological rhythms and influence external physical fields. From cellular response to sound, in the acoustics of pyramids, resonance plays a central role in shaping both body and space. This connection between sound, structure, and consciousness offers a practical and testable framework for understanding ancient traditions through modern science. Sound operates on a physical level that most people understand. Vibrations moving through a medium like air, water, or solid objects. They hit our eardrums and we hear a noise. But underneath that everyday experience, sound also behaves according to the laws of quantum mechanics. At very small scales and under precise conditions, sound reveals its quantum side. Instead of thinking about sound like a smooth, continuous wave, it can be described in discrete energy packets called phonons. These phonons are the sound version of photons, which carry light. Like photons, phonons hold energy and momentum, and they interact with matter in quantized ways. They're not hypothetical, they have been detected and manipulated in lab settings. One of the papers that I have in the Quiet Lantern bibliography is by Ekstrom in 2019, and that's where I'm getting some of this from. Phonons appear when you zoom in far enough on the vibrations of atoms in a material. As sound travels, it disturbs these atoms, creating oscillations that can be measured as waves or treated as individual packets, depending on the approach. The field of quantum acoustics focuses on these phenomena, especially under extreme conditions like ultra-cold environments or high frequencies where classical models simply break down. At those thresholds, quantum behavior becomes dominant. Gustafsson, in 2014, demonstrated how artificial atoms, engineered systems that mimic atomic behavior, can couple with these propagating phonons. These interactions create new ways to store and transfer quantum information using sound. This makes phonons candidates for computing systems that are both physical and energetic, without requiring traditional electronic signals. That kind of control over quantum sound has led to ideas that blend light and sound into hybrid systems. Photons and phonons can be entangled. That means that their states can influence each other across great distances, infinite distances, allowing sound to serve in roles typically filled by light. These hybrid states show resilience to environmental interference, a major problem in building stable quantum devices. Vibrations at this scale could even be used to encode memory, creating new methods of quantum data storage. On top of that, the randomness we experience as noise and sound isn't random at the quantum level. It results from uncertainty principles and zero-point energy, where even at absolute zero, fluctuations still occur. Sound at this level becomes a direct expression of quantum information itself. Sound obeys the principles of quantum field theory, moving through materials similarly to how electromagnetic fields ripple across space. According to physicist S.K. Kaufman in 2009, sound fields ripple through matter, forming structured waves comparable to electromagnetic fields in empty space. As the sound field travels, they create zones of alternating pressure, organizing energy into structured oscillations at quantum levels. Physicist Igor Kristof in 2018 emphasized this quantum organization, explaining that pressured oscillations from sound waves create defined quantum events that enable particle-level communication. So essentially, sound becomes a messenger at a microscopic scale, allowing particles to exchange energy and information. Each interaction happens probabilistically, following quantum mechanics, meaning the outcome depends on the phase alignment and the resonance between waveforms. Because of this phase-based nature, quantum sound interactions produce complex yet predictable patterns. Quantum sound waves also display coherence. Similar to how lasers maintain organized, uniform wavefronts, this coherence allows sound waves to travel without losing their quantum properties, enabling interactions over longer distances within materials. When waves meet and overlap, they form interference patterns, either amplifying or diminishing each other's effect depending on their alignment. In practical terms, this means sound can selectively influence quantum states by precise control of frequency and timing. Such selective interaction can affect how materials respond physically and energetically, influencing the structural properties and even chemical reactions. Sound's ability to drive these microscopic quantum processes opens exciting possibilities in fields like quantum computing and material science. Researchers use this understanding to explore innovative technologies where sound, quantum mechanics, and matter all intersect. The probabilistic quantum nature of sound has broader implications for how we think about communication within biological systems. Quantum sound interactions could potentially impact intracellular signaling, enhancing efficiency at microscopic scales. Biological organisms that naturally exploit pressure waves for communication. Think of it like echolocation in bats or whale songs carrying throughout the ocean. At a cellular level, similar processes might occur, where structured quantum sound events synchronize cellular functions. Cells might rely on quantum sound fields to regulate the metabolic pathways or coordinate signaling cascades efficiently. Understanding sound through the lens of quantum field theory shows how vibrational patterns influence everything from basic particle interactions to complex biological communication. This quantum perspective highlights sound's fundamental role in the organized structures of life. So your voice connects you directly to quantum level events, shaping reality through sound. Manone and Rachesco in 2021 explained the human voice itself can reflect and influence quantum systems, creating structured interactions at microscopic scales. So when you speak, vibrations from your vocal cords form complex patterns, carrying both physical energy and encoded information. These vibrations move outward, influencing atoms, molecules, and even the biological tissues around you. The sound of your voice transforms space into structured quantum fields, each pattern uniquely tied to tone, pitch, and emotional state. Thus, voice functions as simultaneously carrier and creator of quantum-level signals. Each spoken word or hum carries subtle information that resonates with cellular structures. The idea that sound is both a medium and a message highlights its role in biological communication. Vocal frequencies extend beyond simple sound. They encode detailed bioinformation at molecular and cellular scales. Specific vibrations produced by your voice match resonant frequencies of particular molecules, influencing their behavior directly. This molecular level resonance can activate or deactivate cellular processes, subtly guiding internal biological functions. As sound penetrates tissue, structured quantum fields emerge, synchronizing the activity of cells and tissues. Your body naturally tunes into these structured fields, using them to coordinate complex processes like metabolism and immune responses. Through quantum interactions, your voice becomes an internal regulator, harmonizing the body's systems from within. Because your voice shapes quantum behavior, it also influences your physical and emotional well-being. Chanting, humming, or repeating certain sounds generates consistent wave patterns, stabilizing quantum fields in your environment. This consistency enhances coherence, a key principle in quantum physics that supports health and emotional balance. Techniques such as chanting mantras or using specific vowel sounds rely on this quantum coherence effect to promote relaxation and mental clarity. In this way, ancient vocal practices align perfectly with quantum theory, suggesting deep biological wisdom behind traditional sound-based rituals. Every spoken word holds quantum potential, resonating beyond mere sound into structured biological and energetic patterns. Your voice serves as a personal quantum instrument, linking intention, emotion, and physical reality. Human hearing operates with incredible precision, detecting subtle variations in sound waves at microscopic scales. Your ears are constantly interpreting tiny fluctuations in pressure and pitch, decoding these vibrations into meaningful signals. Physicists describe this emotional sensitivity as having quantum-like resolution, meaning ears might perceive sound down to quantum-level details. Inner ear hair cells, researchers suggest, respond to mechanical vibrations at a scale where quantum coherence could still influence biological processes. This coherence means vibrations might remain organized at a quantum level as they trigger signals into your brain. Thus, human auditory perception may extend beyond classical physics explanations involving subtle quantum behaviors. As improbable as it sounds, your ears might be capable of quantum sensing. Inside your ear, specialized hair cells convert mechanical vibrations from sound into electrical signals your brain can understand. These hair cells contain molecular structures sensitive enough to interact with sound waves at near atomic precision. At this level, the quantum properties of sound become relevant, potentially enhancing the efficiency and accuracy of auditory perception. Physicists exploring auditory mechanics suggest that some aspects of human hearing could directly rely on quantum coherence and entanglement. This idea challenges traditional explanations that depend solely on classical vibrations and simple electrical signaling. Quantum coherence would mean that sound waves maintain their structured patterns at extremely fine scales, preserving information fidelity through biological transmission. If accurate, your auditory system actively exploits quantum effects to perceive the acoustic environment. This could revolutionize hearing. We could all have little quantum computers in our ears to help us hear. Evidence for quantum hearing comes from studies demonstrating that biological systems retain quantum properties under normal, everyday conditions. Quantum coherence, once considered exclusive to laboratory settings at ultra-low temperatures, appears to occur naturally within the delicate structure of the inner ear. This means your hearing may inherently use quantum mechanics to process auditory information efficiently and clearly. Biological quantum effects could explain how the brain distinguishes sound with remarkable accuracy, even in noisy environments. According to recent research, the human auditory system retains quantum-level properties influencing sound perception at a fundamental level. Understanding these quantum influences reveals deeper biological connections between sound, biology, and consciousness. Your ears provide the natural interface linking quantum phenomena with your daily sensory experiences. Your brain naturally interprets sound frequencies as meaningful patterns of information. Whenever you listen to music, speech, or environmental sounds, your auditory cortex synchronizes neural activity with these rhythmic patterns. Neuroscientists explain this by noting that auditory cortex activity creates synchronized feedback loops across both hemispheres, aligning with the rhythm of incoming sounds. Essentially, sound frequencies become internal signals, shaping how your brain communicates with itself. The synchronization happens through coherent oscillatory activity, meaning neurons fire rhythmically together rather than randomly. These coordinated rhythms allow your brain to interpret complex auditory information efficiently and precisely. The clarity and consistency of your auditory perception depend directly on these internally structured rhythms. A practical example of how the brain uses rhythmic frequencies comes from the concept of binaural beats. Binaural beats involve listening to slightly different frequencies in each ear, creating internal rhythm perceived by your brain. According to research, these internal rhythms shift brain states through a process called frequency entrainment, where neural oscillations match external sound patterns. Entrainment guides your brain waves towards specific states, such as relaxation, alertness, or enhanced concentration. This method demonstrates how auditory frequencies directly influence mental states by synchronizing neural activity. Such controlled synchronization highlights the brain's inherent responsiveness to rhythmic auditory stimuli. Your brain effectively mirrors external auditory rhythms, influencing mood, cognition, and emotional balance. These synchronized internal processes reflect coherent oscillatory activity within the brain's neural networks. Coherence refers to rhythmic patterns that maintain stability and consistent timing across brain regions. Studies confirm that internally generated rhythmic coherence is crucial for clear cognitive functions, including attention, memory, and emotional regulation. Maintaining coherence through auditory stimuli provides a reliable way to optimize brain function naturally. Practices like meditation or listening to repetitive sounds intentionally foster this neural coherence, enhancing overall cognitive efficiency. So, understanding how the brain interprets sound as rhythmic information reveals practical ways to improve mental well-being. Your brain thrives on these rhythms, highlighting the power of sound to guide your inner neural landscape. Sound influences the subtle communication pathways inside your cells, impacting processes that are essential for life. Studies have found that vibrations and sound waves affect important cellular components, particularly calcium ion channels and structures within the cytoskeleton. Researchers note pressure-based sound waves can directly influence molecular signaling pathways, altering how cells respond to their environment. Calcium channels, crucial for various cellular functions, open and close in response to sound-induced vibrations. These channels regulate many processes, including muscle contractions, nerve signaling, and even gene expression. Cytoskeletal structures, which support and shape cells, also respond dynamically to acoustic stimulation. Therefore, sound vibrations translate directly into biological responses at a microscopic level, shaping how your cells function. When pressure-based waves from sound move through tissues, they generate mechanical forces recognized by cells. Another statement by Simasiu is that these forces influence molecular signaling patterns, potentially enhancing cellular communication and coherence. This means that sound waves serves as physical signals, capable of triggering changes in cell behavior without chemical interaction. Cells detect these vibrations through specialized mechanosensitive proteins embedded in their membranes. Once adapted, these proteins relay signals internally, modifying biochemical pathways to adapt cellular behavior accordingly. Such vibration-driven communication provides cells with a direct method to rapidly coordinate functions across tissues and organs. This discovery positions sound as an active participant in maintaining cellular health and balance. These cellular interactions tie sound closely to bioelectric fields within and around living organisms. Bioelectric fields are subtle electrical signals produced by cellular activities essential for coordinating growth, healing, and overall function. Physicists propose, since molecular signaling is influenced by pressure-based sound waves, these vibrations might actively shape bioelectric patterns linked to biological consciousness itself. Cellular bioelectric signals play critical roles in brain activity, heart rhythm, and even consciousness. Sound vibrations, by altering bioelectric fields, may directly affect your mental and physiological states. Ancient practices like chanting or rhythmic drumming, often described as consciousness enhancing, might actually have scientific merit through this acoustic bioelectric connection. Your experiences with sound extend beyond hearing, influencing your very biological essence. Ancient rituals frequently incorporated chanting as a primary way to synchronize participants on both physical and mental levels. Repetitive sound naturally guides breathing patterns, steady heartbeats, and stabilized brainwave activity among individuals. Scientists have observed that rhythmic chanting modulates breath and heart rate, creating measurable coherence within body systems. This coherence is the alignment of different biological rhythms into a harmonious pattern, leading to increased efficiency and stability. As chanting regulates breathing, oxygen flow improves, influencing overall health and enhancing mental clarity. Heart rhythms become steady and synchronized, contributing to emotional, calm, and internal balance. Thus, chanting provides a simple yet effective method to unify physical, mental, and emotional states through sound. These rhythmic patterns from chanting not only influence overall physiological systems, but also reach deep into the cellular level. According to research, these rhythmic modulations likely synchronize directly with cellular processes through mechanical and electrical signaling pathways. Mechanical vibrations produced by chanting resonate through tissues, creating measurable cellular responses. Simultaneously, rhythmic chanting generates subtle electrical signals influencing cells via bioelectric fields. This combination of mechanical and electrical effects aligns cellular functions such as metabolic activity, ion channel regulation, and even gene expression patterns. Therefore, chanting acts like an internal tuning fork, guiding cells toward harmonious functioning. The ancient use of sound demonstrates a sophisticated, biologically rooted understanding of cellular coordination. When groups chant together, the synchronization extends beyond individual bodies, forming cohesive biological patterns amongst participants. Studies suggest collective chanting can biologically synchronize entire groups, producing unified rhythmic states across multiple individuals simultaneously. Group chanting aligns the respiratory and heart rates among participants, creating a powerful, shared experience. This alignment fosters emotional bonding, social coherence, and mutual trust within the group. Such collective rhythmic coherence amplifies individual biological benefits, extending the positive effects through entire communities. Ancient rituals using collective chanting leverage this natural biological phenomenon to build cohesive structures and collective health. By chanting together, ancient communities intuitively harness the biological power of sound to create unity and harmony. And it could have been one of the things that helped build civilization in its early phases. In this way, it could have influenced early human evolution by providing pillars of civilization founded on social cohesion. Ceremonial practices have traditionally incorporated sounds like drums, gongs, or sustained tones to influence participants physically. These rhythmic sounds produce vibrations strong enough to resonate throughout the human body, affecting more than hearing alone. Researchers have found rituals that involve steady rhythmic sounds create vibrations which travel deeply through tissues, impacting muscles, bone, and internal organs. Such vibrations help align internal systems, including the nervous system, hormones, and the immune response. Participants in these ceremonies often report feeling more relaxed, focused, or even euphoric due to the coordinated internal response. These effects demonstrate that rhythmic ceremonial sounds influence the body comprehensively, enhancing the overall well-being. Sound becomes a powerful tool, shaping physical states. Participants in these ceremonies often report feeling more relaxed, focused, or even euphoric due to the coordinated internal response. And even myself, I have had the wonderful fortune of going to a Tlingit drum ceremony, and I unfortunately entered the ceremony with an insanely intense migraine, and something about the drum beats, every time their mallet would strike the drum, it made my headache diminish noticeably, and by the end of the ceremony, my headache was gone. I didn't have a migraine anymore. And you would think that normally exposing your head to a pounding sound would create a migraine. And in this case, the ceremony and ritual of these intentional chanting rhythmic drum beats fixed my headache. Rhythmic sounds from ceremonial instruments encourage the body's systems to synchronize naturally. According to studies, steady vibrations from drums or gongs guide physiological rhythms into harmonious alignment, promoting a coherent internal state. Your nervous system responds by stabilizing signals, reducing stress responses, and promoting calmness. Similarly, hormonal rhythms shift, producing beneficial biochemical effects that boost mood and improve immune function. The immune system itself responds positively to these structured acoustic experiences, increasing its efficiency. In group ceremonies, collective sound vibrations synchronize the physiological responses of all participants, creating a unified physical and emotional experience. This coherence enhances group bonding, highlighting the biological power of shared ceremonial sound. When the body's systems align through ceremonial sound, participants experience a holistic sense of harmony and connection. Experts note the body naturally responds as an integrated system, nervous, hormonal, immune, when exposed to the rhythmic sound of patterns in ceremonial settings. This integrated response provides a sense of physical balance, emotional stability, and mental clarity. Participants often describe feeling deeply connected, both internally with others around them. Regular exposure to these rituals reinforces the body's natural synchronization process, promoting sustained physiological and emotional well-being. Ancient cultures intuitively recognized the body's responsiveness to ceremonial sounds, regularly using rhythmic instruments to enhance community health. Modern science supports these traditions, confirming that rhythmic sound profoundly influences human biology and social connection. I second that. Okay, so now that we have an understanding of how quantum sound works with our quantum biology, we can finally get on to the point of today's episode, pyramids and acoustic architecture. Ancient architects designed temples, pyramids, and sacred spaces with acoustics in mind. These structures often use specific harmonic ratios, amplifying human voices and enhancing vocal resonance within their walls. According to acoustic researchers, ancient spaces were intentionally tuned to particular frequencies to amplify sound and create clear resonant vibrations. Such intentional tuning would mean spoken words and chants gained strength and clarity, increasing their perceived power. The internal shapes of pyramids and domes naturally direct sound towards central points, focusing acoustic energy efficiently. Visitors within these buildings would experience powerful echoes and resonance effects, emphasizing spoken rituals. Thus, architecture transformed simple vocal expressions into amplified sound experiences. One well-known example of acoustic amplification comes from pyramid-shaped structures. Modern scientific models suggest pyramids constructed using golden ratios efficiently focused electromagnetic and acoustic fields at precise internal points. Golden ratio proportions occur frequently in natural systems and seem inherently well-suited for managing acoustic energy. When sound vibrations occur within pyramids, these waves reflect and converge at central focal areas, creating intense resonance fields. Such fields amplify sound, even soft vocalizations, to carry clearly throughout the chamber. The Great Pyramid at Giza has been modeled as a massive resonant cavity, capable of significantly boosting internal acoustic vibrations. The architectural precision indicates ancient builders understood how structural geometry influenced sound. Temples and pyramids functioned as large-scale standing wave chambers, capable of maintaining stable acoustic patterns. Standing waves occur when sound waves reflect between surfaces, producing areas of intensified resonance at specific intervals. Researchers propose structures like pyramids and temples may have deliberately facilitated standing wave formation, stabilizing sound patterns within their interiors. These consistent, stable sound fields would resonate clearly and powerfully during rituals or ceremonies. Participants within these chambers experience consistent acoustic stimulation, harmonizing their physiological states. Such internal acoustic conditions might directly influence neurological patterns, including coherent brainwave amongst attendees. Hence, architectural acoustics help shape collective mental states. Oh, this is fascinating. After burial, the pyramid complex became a place for priests to conduct daily rituals and offerings to the deceased pharaoh's statues in mortuary temples. These rituals are known as the royal offering cult, were intended to sustain the deceased spirit and provide their needs in the afterlife. Offerings and religious texts were recited to ensure the pharaoh's well-being and continued existence. So, there's another actual example of rituals in the Pyramid of Giza that would have had vocal acoustics that reflected back. Standing wave phenomena within sacred spaces could actively synchronize brainwave frequencies across these groups of people. Acoustic specialists suggest standing waves formed inside chambers could stimulate brainwave coherence, aligning neural activity through rhythmic sound. Rhythmic sounds, particularly when consistent and repetitive, guide brainwaves into organized patterns like those experienced during meditation. Within acoustically precise chambers, chanting would become especially effective at inducing states of calm, focus, or heightened awareness, or to help guide deceased souls across the bridge of the afterlife. The cumulative effect of participants synchronizing brainwaves may have enhanced communal experiences, making rituals profoundly impactful. Participants likely perceived these collective acoustic effects as spiritually significant events, reinforcing the social cohesion and shared cultural identity. Architectural acoustics thus supported mental unity within these communities. This acoustic alignment between structures and their occupants created interactive resonance fields. The presence of these fields meant the space engaged actively with both participants and the surrounding environment, creating a unified vibrational experience. Participants felt physically and emotionally connected to their surroundings, with the architecture serving as an energetic bridge. Sound waves generated by chanting reverberated through building materials, transferring vibrational energy to occupants. Through careful structural design, buildings shaped energetic flows, connecting internal human rhythms with external acoustic patterns. Such resonance experiences would foster emotional bonding and collective harmony within these groups. In essence, architecture served as an active medium for uniting ancient individuals through sound. Viewing temples and pyramids from an acoustic perspective invites a new understanding of these structures as interactive biological interfaces. Researchers state, this resonance-based function opens possibilities for interpreting ancient buildings as tools for biological and energetic alignment beyond simple monuments. Temples became spaces actively supporting human health and social dynamics through intentional acoustic design. These buildings served practical functions facilitating ceremonies that physically and neurologically aligned their participants. By managing sound vibrations, architecture subtly influenced mood, perception, and biological rhythms. Recognizing the acoustic and biological implications of ancient structure expands modern understanding of their purpose and effectiveness. Ancient architects clearly understood, on some level, acoustics as fundamental to creating meaningful human experiences. Your body functions as a natural resonator, responding to sound through vibration at multiple levels. Bones, fluids, and tissues each react uniquely, vibrating when exposed to different frequencies. Scientists point out that the body's internal structures form natural resonance circuits, amplifying and responding to acoustic stimuli. Specific tones and rhythms align well with your body's innate vibrational patterns, boosting health and emotional balance. Conversely, frequencies misaligned with your natural rhythms may create tension, disrupting normally bodily functions. Even slight shifts in pitch or tone significantly affect your somatic responses, influencing feelings of comfort or stress. Essentially, your body's physical health and mood depend greatly on how well external sounds resonate internally. Research shows that different frequencies interact uniquely with biological tissues, influencing various aspects of health and cognition. According to recent studies, specific frequencies can either support or disturb internal patterns, directly affecting physical well-being and mental clarity. For instance, low-frequency sounds penetrate deeply, vibrating bone structures and organs, often creating sensations of calm or relaxation. Higher frequencies typically influence surface tissues and the nervous system, potentially stimulating alertness or agitation. Because your body's tissues each have distinct resonant properties, precise sound frequencies can trigger precise biological responses. Sound therapists use targeted frequencies to ease stress, enhance mood, or improve focus, relying on the body's natural vibration responsiveness. This precise interaction between frequency and tissue explains why even subtle acoustic variations profoundly impact your health. Even small adjustments in sound frequencies can cause noticeable physical effects due to the body's sensitivity to vibration. Experts note that subtle tonal shifts often produce strong somatic reactions, affecting both physical sensations and emotional states. For example, a slight alteration in pitch during a therapeutic sound session might shift feelings from relaxation to alertness. Similarly, minor rhythmic changes in music or speech patterns can strongly influence heart rate, breathing, and muscle tension. These subtle auditory shifts effectively communicate with your body's internal signaling systems, producing immediate biological responses. Thusly, sound serves as a precise biological tool capable of fine-tuning your body's natural environment. Understanding this relationship reveals new possibilities for using sound intentionally to enhance personal health and emotional well-being. So now, as we've seen, your voice actively shapes the world around you by directly influencing your internal biology. Vocal vibrations generated when you speak travel deeply throughout your body, impacting essential systems such as the nervous system and circulation. Scientists have observed that vibrations from your voice significantly affect heart rate, blood pressure, and even brainwave patterns. As you speak, the tone, pitch, and rhythm of your voice guide these physiological responses, instantly altering your physical and emotional states. A calm and steady voice naturally reduces stress and lowers blood pressure, while rapid or high-pitched vocalizations increase alertness or anxiety. Therefore, your spoken words have measurable physical consequences that directly shape your overall health. Understanding this helps explain why practices such as speaking affirmations or soothing words can create meaningful physical and physiological changes. Additionally, the language that you use profoundly influences how your brain forms and maintains neural connections. Each word and sentence you speak stimulates specific neural pathways, reinforcing particular thought patterns. Researchers emphasize language actively shapes neural architecture, influencing cognitive functions and perceptions. Words linked to positivity and confidence strengthen neural connections that foster optimism and resilience, influencing your daily experiences. Conversely, language emphasizing fear or negativity reinforces pathways associated with anxiety or doubt, shaping perception accordingly. By carefully choosing your words, you actively sculpt your mental landscape, influencing how clearly and positively you perceive your own environment. Thus, language is a powerful cognitive tool, shaping your reality through deliberate neural structuring. Beyond influencing your body and mind, vocal frequencies may also impact physical reality by imprinting meaning onto matter. Sound waves carry structured vibrations capable of affecting molecular and atomic arrangements under certain conditions. According to researchers, under precise circumstances, sound frequencies can physically imprint meaningful patterns onto matter, influencing its properties. Traditional practices like chanting or spoken prayer operate on this principle, using specific frequencies to encode intentions directly into the physical environment. This acoustic encoding could explain the effectiveness of rituals designed to influence outcomes through spoken word. When your voice carries clear intent, frequencies embed that intention onto surrounding matter, subtly affecting physical circumstances. Recognizing the power of your voice in this way highlights speech as a meaningful act of creation. If you've been following along with some of the religious discussions that we've been having, or if you're a Christian, you might be familiar with this verse as well. This is even something discussed by Christ in the Bible. Matthew 18:20 states, "For where 2 or 3 gather in my name, there am I with them." So it's just another way that our voice, our prayers, and our rituals can affect the greater whole. Ancient traditions involving chanting, mantras, and spoken spells now become clearer when viewed through this modern scientific idea about sound and vibration. These practices depend heavily on precise vocal frequencies, rhythmic patterns, and focused intentions to produce specific outcomes. As researchers explain, the effectiveness of chanting and spoken mantras arises directly from structured acoustic vibrations, which resonate with specific biological and physical processes. Vocal rhythms and repetitions reinforce coherent acoustic fields, aligning closely with quantum field interactions. Through rhythmic repetition, practitioners establish stable vibrational patterns that enhance the clarity and strength of their intended outcomes. Essentially, spoken intentions transform into measurable acoustic events, creating patterns recognized by biological and environmental systems. The scientific perspective demystifies traditional practices, highlighting the practical use of structured sound frequencies. Modern quantum physics offers additional insights into how these ancient practices achieve their intended effects. Scientists studying quantum acoustics suggest that sound vibrations interact directly with quantum fields, creating structured resonance capable of influencing matter at subtle levels. Chanting and mantras thus leverage quantum principles, generating acoustic patterns that influence molecular and cellular behaviors. Each spoken sound becomes a quantum trigger, producing coherent waves that resonate with biological processes and subtle energy systems. This coherence amplifies the practitioner's intention, strengthening the alignment between mental focus and physical reality. By consciously shaping sound patterns, practitioners tap directly into quantum-level interactions, influencing their immediate surroundings. The scientific approach clarifies how ancient vocal traditions effectively harness subtle energetic phenomena. From this viewpoint, traditional magic words function practically as a precise resonant trigger. Rather than mysterious or supernatural phenomena, magical words achieve effects through deliberate acoustic resonance. According to researchers, so-called magical phrases work because specific vocal frequencies create resonance patterns, aligning directly with targeted outcomes. When spoken clearly and rhythmically, these resonance patterns interact coherently with the environment, influencing molecular structures and those subtle biological signals. Practitioners understood these interactions intuitively, encoding effective resonance sequences within chants, spells, and sacred recitations. Recognizing these practices as resonance-based methods emphasizes their scientific validity and practical effectiveness. Ancient magical sound traditions find firm support within contemporary acoustic and quantum physics research. In the first chapter of Genesis, creation starts clearly and simply. God said. This opening phrase emphasizes sound as the essential first step in transforming intention into tangible reality. According to scholars, the act of speaking symbolizes vibration entering space, setting the stage for physical form. Sound, when spoken, immediately initiates vibrations, which interact directly with surrounding space. These vibrations quickly establish coherent fields of energy, creating structured patterns in the environment. Fields generated through vocal resonance become foundational, driving subsequent physical changes. The Bible text intuitively reflects an understanding that vocal resonance, rather than physical force, begins the process of shaping reality. When spoken, your words actively vibrate the environment, generating measurable acoustic waves. These waves are structured, coherent energy fields that interact dynamically with matter. Researchers note spoken words directly vibrate with surrounding space, translating vocal intention into energetic fields. Once established, these fields serve as organizing patterns, guiding how matter arranges itself physically. In other words, vocal vibrations are foundational building blocks of matter and form, initiating a natural progression towards physical manifestation. This process highlights sound as an inherently creative force, connecting intention with physical reality. Each spoken word serves as a precise resonance trigger, initiating new patterns in physical space. Creation using sound emphasizes resonance as a key principle behind the emergence of ordered matter. Physicists describe resonance as the phenomenon by which vibrations reinforce each other, producing stable patterns capable of organizing physical reality. Resonance creates structured, coherent fields, naturally guiding the arrangement of matter into order patterns. Ancient texts like the Bible clearly reflect this understanding, positioning speech as the primary means by which chaos transforms into form. A three-dimensional being uses sound to subtly imprint intentions onto surrounding consciousness fields, influencing reality in small but meaningful ways. In contrast, a four-dimensional being could directly translate vocal resonance into physical existence, instantly manifesting entire realities. Creation fundamentally involves bringing order to chaos through vocal resonance, shaping structured patterns within consciousness itself. Sound is more than expression. It is an interface between consciousness and physical reality. The body responds to it, structures amplify it, and the mind organizes around it. From the Genesis phrase of God said to the modern theories of quantum resonance, vocal vibrations stand out as a mechanism for turning intention into order. Ancient practices use sound deliberately knowing its effects on physiology, emotion, and space. Today we can measure and explore these effects through physics and biology, linking sacred traditions with practical, observable outcomes. Whether through chanting, speech, or architecture, sound continues to act as a tool for shaping coherent experience. In this way, resonance becomes a method of creation, one that starts with vibration and leads to form. And with that, I'm going to wrap up this episode for today, but I will see you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will keep making more videos on the science supporting this hypothesis. Thanks for joining me.